It's just those times when you've been at work and you literally haven't stopped, and then you come back the next night and you find out that someone you'd spent all your time with has died. And it's even worse when you think that perhaps things could have been different if only, you hadn't been doing the job of two people.
We're now coming to yet another winter where all elective operations have been cut this year. Patients have been waiting and waiting, and now they've been told they've got to wait even longer.
I've had people die waiting for an ambulance where I felt that if we'd have got them to hospital, they would have survived.
When I started training to be a nurse, we used to receive a bursary, which didn't really pay us that much, but it basically worked out to us getting around £3 an hour. Now that's been scrapped.
People born a few months after me will have over 40 grand of debt to sort out, as well as having, not a particularly sparkly salary.
I started nursing at the first hospital opened for the NHS in 1948. Before the health service, there'd been a lot of fear about being ill. Even as a little girl, I recall going to the doctor with my earache and my parents having to pay, and the chink as the coins went into his pocket. And I realised my parents would have to go without something in order to get me the care.
We're in the process of privatisation, and a key strategy would be to make the NHS fail, look like it's failing, destroy the trust the public have in it and destroy the trust that the professionals have in it. And then we'll be persuaded to call for something radical, and I think that radical will be conversion to an American-style insurance system.
It's not a business. We built it up with our tax so that our children and our grandchildren would have free healthcare.
Either you pay your rent, or your council tax, or you buy food. I've got colleagues that I work with that's got children as well. And to be honest, it's shameful when they say to me sometimes they have to go to the food bank.
So after, 20 odd years in the NHS, I resigned. And that for me was like leaving a family behind to leave the NHS.
And all of it, all of the working conditions together, and getting more and more feeling like, is this really worth it? Is this really worth it? Because this is what I love. But it's not anymore. And that's really hard to say. And I don't want to leave.
In the hands of hope, have we lost our soul? Oh, but she can't let go, 'cause she loves it so.
And interested in what Jeremy Corbyn has to say, simply because he genuinely wants to help me do my job.
The press and the Tories said that these were radical policies in a country as rich as Britain, where people are having to take second jobs, working people are having to go on benefits and rely on food banks. It's not radical to invest in the health service. It's not radical to take away privatisation from the health service. It's not radical to invest in us.
And now I'm back in the NHS and I want a Labour government. I want a better NHS for my children's future, and that is what will drive me forward and continue my fight.
You don't need to worry if you get a devastating illness and you have no one to look after you, because the NHS will always be there. If that resonates strongly with you as it does with me, then you've got to get out there and fight for it. And the first thing to do is to vote for Labour, because they're the only party who are offering us at the moment a real, tangible means by which we can safeguard this most precious thing.
'Cause she loves it so.